Hey sisters, welcome back to my channel. You know I'm always coming to you with those relatable topics. So if you haven't already, please go hit that subscribe button. Tell a friend to tell a friend about my channel, okay sis? And by the looks of the title, you already know what we're gonna get into. So let's get right into the video, guys. You guys are doing okay, all right? I hope you're hanging in there, all right? Sisters, you know I'm always rooting for you because we are strong and we'll make it through anything, right? Okay, so based on the title, I want you guys to really understand the importance of not dwelling on your past and trying to move on the best to your ability, okay? Now, I want to use myself as an example because if you guys go back to my first set of videos, you will see my journey, you will see what I went through, how I went through it, and to now, okay? So I've never really sat down to explain to you guys like how did I heal, you know, my whole journey, my process, how did I get to this point in my life. And you know I'm always willing to stand in my truth for you guys. So I just want to use myself as a true living example to encourage you all and uplift you and to help you understand that your circumstances definitely do not define your future, okay? And you cannot allow your past to hold you back either, all right? So the thing is, in life you have to learn through what you grow through, okay? And I know that sounds like a tongue twister, but I'm gonna say it again. You have to learn through what you grow through, okay? Not go through, grow, Grow, because the whole meaning of that statement is for you to really truly understand where you went wrong, okay sis, and to apply it to your future so that it will not happen to you again. And that's exactly what I did. And if you guys are new to my channel, thank you for stopping by. Thank you for watching. My name is Coach Sweetie. I'm a relationship and wellness coach, okay? All the information about my agency, bookings, consultations, virtual seminars, the whole nine is down in the description box down below. So thank you for coming. Tell a friend to tell a friend about my channel, all right? So, you guys know that I was broken with a capital B, right? You know that I was so hurt beyond hurt, betrayed in the worst kind of ways by someone I thought that would never ever dream of doing certain things to me. But of course, we all get to that point in life where, you know, there's that one person that we'll swear for, you know, we'll swear that they would never, you know, and then they just hit us with a reality check. So that was my situation. I was in a 12-year marriage. I was betrayed in the worst way. And, you know, when you've been married for that long, you lose yourself, okay? And that's where that term of women losing themselves comes from because, you know, as a woman that really wants to achieve success in anything that we do, we firsthand give everything our all, right? We dive straight in, right? So with me and my marriage, it was all about making him happy. It was all about making him my priority. It was all about doing what I have to do to make our family complete no matter what. And I always put my personal needs and wants on the back burner, okay? And I know most of you watching this right now can relate because we all go through that. We all sacrifice the ultimate sacrifice in the name of love. And it shouldn't be that way, but we taught ourselves that that is the way it's supposed to be if we're gonna get our happily ever after. And I'm here to make myself an example to show you that that is not the case, okay honey? So yeah, I was in a 12-year marriage, and it was not all bad. It was not all bad. It started to get horrible close to the end because I started to realize a lot of things when it was too late, so to speak. Because when you're in a marriage that long, you start to trust your person, and you want to give them the benefit of the doubt, as you should, because you've been with them long enough, right? So that was not the case. I really don't want to get too in depth about it, but if you do want to go back to my past videos when I first started my channel to get a better understanding, you can. Bottom line, my marriage was abusive, my marriage was toxic, and I stayed for the kids' sake. But at the end of the day, it made no difference, and I've learned the hard way that, sis, staying for the kids is like the worst thing that you could ever do, because your children are watching you go through some of what is gonna be the horrible times of your life, and you don't want them to share that memory with you, because kids carry memories. Okay, they grow up with these memories of watching their mama go through these things, and they harbor those memories, and trust me, it alters the human being that they become when they become adults. And so I had to learn that the hard way, and really understand that staying really didn't make a difference. I was hurting my children more by staying, and eventually enough was enough. And it was that one straw that broke the camel's back, and I just said, you know what, to hell with it, I'm out of here. I don't know what's gonna happen next. I don't know how I'm gonna survive. I don't know what's gonna happen to my kids, but I'm definitely not sticking to this situation no more. And it even got to a point where I was terrified, because I felt like I gave this individual every element of me. Like, literally, to the point where I had nothing left for myself. I gave him all of my confidence, I gave him all of my respect, I gave him all of my worth, I gave him all of my generosity, I gave him my mind, body, and soul. Okay, I gave him everything, and it just got to the point where I was just like, well, I don't have nothing else to lose. So why am I staying in a situation being scared to leave when I don't have nothing else to lose? I've lost everything just staying. You know what I mean? It's that 1 ounce of hope that we try to cling on to, right, sis? That 1 ounce of hope. But sometimes that 1 ounce of hope is what's going to get us killed, okay? And I don't mean it like physically. I mean like mentally. Because staying in any toxic situation is not healthy. It's definitely not healthy, and it will show eventually. It will show in your health, okay? It will show in your weight. It will show in the way that you behave to other people. It will show in various amount of ways, and it's just like, you're not that person. You don't want to be that person, but because of what you went through, it altered who you were and who you knew yourself to be. So that is why we tend to lose ourselves. And I definitely was a lost soul. Okay, guys, I was beyond lost. All right. And I'm not ashamed of it. I can proudly hold my head high and say, yes, I was lost, because you have to be lost to be literally pouring into somebody else's cup while they're still emptying yours. And then they have the nerve to sit in your face saying that you're their everything and they can't live without you. Like, you really have some nerve at that point to recognize the signs and to really understand and know for a fact that this person definitely does not respect you, definitely does not care about your well-being, definitely did not give, up about you, just straight up. I was literally a lost soul, and I felt like I was losing my mind. And so I had to take the time to really process things. I did get out of the situation, and it was hard at first. I'm not gonna lie to you, it was very hard at first, because that person was literally my best friend. Okay, we did everything together, we shared the same dreams, we shared the same goals. We planned out our life before we even got married. We planned out how we would do it, when we would have kids. Like, we planned everything together. So to start all over, it was just like, It was chaotic and hard to imagine. And that's with a lot of us, right, sis? We're scared of change because we don't know what's going to happen. So we hold ourselves back before we even try. And that's the critical pinpoint of it all. You can't worry about what is going to come after you make a decision when you haven't even tried to make a decision, when you haven't even finalized it in your mind and told yourself, like, okay, this is what it's gonna be. Like, never be afraid of change, because change brings prosperity. Prosperity brings peace, okay? And peace brings growth. So at the end of the day, never be scared of change, all right? It's for your own good and your children's good if you have children. Never be afraid to choose you, all right? Because at the end of the day, while you're hanging in there and waiting for this person that claims to love you to choose you and to finally put you first and to finally hang in there and be by your side and be your rock, they're not doing that, because they're so used to you being their rock and being everything that they need and want, right? So remember, in all my other videos, I always tell you, equal give and take. If it's not an equal give and take, it's not a relationship, okay? Don't call it a relationship. Don't call it love. It's not love, because anybody that loves you and truly respects you will want to make sure that they're meeting your needs and wants too at the same time, that theirs are being met, okay? So moving forward, I had to take time to heal, and it's hard to heal with two kids, okay? It's hard to heal. You know, I remember looking at my children and just thinking, like, what the, like, what are we gonna do? Like, I was speechless. I was like, all kind of thoughts going through my mind. But I told myself that, you know what? I only got one life to live, and I already know what it's like to be stuck in an unhappy marriage. But do I know what it's like to be happy? Do I know what it's like to be at peace? Do I know what it's like to be free? Because that's another thing. I've been married since high school. Okay. So he was my first love, high school love, whole ordeal. And I didn't know what it was like to be by myself. I didn't know what it was like to fend for myself or to just be alone. And that's another thing too, right, sis? Most of us, we are terrified of being alone. So we stay in situations that we have no business staying in because we're afraid of being alone, right? And it's just like, you know, bear in mind, you were born by yourself. You definitely gonna leave this world by yourself. And all you have to carry with you in your last days are your memories, cherishable memories. So which one is more important to you? Staying in a miserable situation and having horrible memories, or setting yourself free and knowing that you gave life your best shot for your own sake, and that when you leave this world, you are leaving truly with joy in your heart, peace in your mind, okay? And the truth of the matter is, you're satisfied with the life that you lived, because that's really what it boils down to, right? I have never imagined that I would be a relationship and wellness coach. I've been in the healthcare field for about 10 years, and I was actually in nursing school. So throughout my marriage, it was quite ironic that I was in the healthcare field, because while I was going through this, because it's just like, you know, it's kind of like I was mirroring myself. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. As a healthcare provider, right? You understand the logistics of giving quality care to other people, but in your own personal life, it's like it's hard to acquire that same mentality towards yourself. And you would say, huh, that makes no sense. But if you really think about it, it's true, right? Think about all the nurses and the doctors out there that are in these hospitals giving care to other people. But at home, they're probably a low key drug addict or a low key um, drinker, or there's very toxic people that don't know how to love themselves, right? So that's the standpoint that I was at when I decided to leave my marriage. I was just like, you know what? I'm a traitor. Like, I'm here giving care to these people every day. It's my passion to give care. You know, I love what I do, but I can't even take care of myself. I can't even make sure that I was waking up happy and going back to bed happy. Like, there's something definitely wrong with that picture right there. So sometimes you really have to look yourself in the mirror, right, sis? You have to just take that moment, that critical moment where you really look yourself in the mirror and you say to yourself, girl, you need to get it together. This ain't it. And I had that moment, okay? I had that moment where I just woke up one morning and I was just like looking at the scars and the bruises on my body, and, you know, saying to myself, what am I doing? Like, what am I really doing? Like, why does my loyalty feel like slavery right now? Like, me hanging in there being that ride or die wife, this big ring on my finger, and making my home a happy home, but ain't nothing happy about it. What am I doing? It's not worth it. Why? Just to say that I'm married? Just to say that, you know, I'm not a baby mother? Like, no. It's time to go. And here's the thing that I learned too, right? When you make up your mind that you deserve better, when you ultimately figure out that, okay, this is the dead end road and you got to do something, you're gonna get a lot of hate for it. You're gonna get a lot of negativity, a lot of biased comments towards you and your life and your children, okay? You're gonna get a lot of hypocrites that are ready to point the finger and say, well, you never loved him in the first place, or you were never real anyway, or you this and you that. Girl, let me tell you something. These people opinions don't matter because they're not in your shoes. They don't know what you're going through. They don't know what you did go through, and they could never ever fill your shoes even if they tried. They could never. So at the end of the day, it really don't matter what they got to say. You know that you gave your life a chance with somebody that wasn't worth it. You proved it to yourself. You saw the signs. You let time run by. And at the end of the day, you hit that dead end road where you're just like, okay, that's enough time lost. That's enough love lost. Gotta go. Okay? You know, that's why they say you meet people for specific seasons of your life. Every season you're gonna meet somebody and they serve a purpose in your life. Now, I'm not here to exploit my marriage and, you know, say that, oh my god, like he was so abusive and horrible to me and my children. And I mean, it was horrible and I got out of it. Look at me now. But to really, you know, run on that emotional roller coaster, I always try not to do it because, you know, your mind is a very powerful thing. And if you tell yourself that you want to sit in self-pity, then your health will definitely follow. And this is the reason why I developed into a relationship and wellness coach, because I have truly, guys, let me tell you, I have truly went through the education, the knowledge, and the experience to know that stress equals depression. Depression equals bad health. Simple. Period. Okay? Been there, done that. If I was to really sit here and tell you guys all the things that I've been through, you would not believe me. I'll probably end up on Time magazine. I'm just telling you the truth, okay? And I say all this to say my journey has truly allowed my eyes to open to bigger and better things. So I can sit here now in front of you and say my piece and tell you my story and use it as a way to uplift you and encourage you because I've been there, done that. Let me tell you something. The worst thing you could do to somebody after they deliberately try to hurt you and break you down is to let them see you bounce back and be happy. Oh, it's gonna kill them to see you smiling. To see you happy and at peace, it will kill them. You don't know why? Because they knew exactly what they were doing to you. Oh yeah, people are very conscious of their behavior towards you. But people can only do to you what you allow them to do to you. That's why you need to take back your control, sis. Take back your control and stop giving people the benefit of the doubt. Let me tell you something. The lies, the cheating, the bad behavior, the disrespect, the stealing, everything negative. It wasn't by accident. It wasn't by accident. If you're in a relationship with somebody and they keep making these dumb mistakes and they turn on and say, oh my god, baby, I love you, I'm sorry, it won't happen again, but then you can't hold your breath long enough and it does happen again, it is not a mistake. It was not an accident. It's done on purpose because guess what? Now, instead of it being an accident, it's actually a pattern. It's becoming a pattern. And then you find yourself going in the same circle with this person, like makeup to breakup, breakup to makeup, all over again. Every time you turn around, same circle because you failed to have some self-love like I did. And you failed to have some dignity and say, all right, listen, since you keep making these same mistakes and it's turned into a pattern, you go ahead and do that by yourself. Because I'm not the one making the mistakes, you are. And you keep expecting me to accept these apologies like I'm clueless to what's really going on. So guess what? You go ahead over there and do what you gotta do with those apologies or whatever else you got going on, and I'm gonna go this way. So I don't have to put up with no more of these apologies and these mistakes. That's what you do. And that's exactly what I did. Otherwise, you're going to be sitting there letting this person sit back and enjoy the fact that they're driving you crazy because you're allowing them to drive you crazy. These people are not stupid. These people know what they're doing to you. They know what they're doing to you. So take back your power. Don't you ever, 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 ever stay in an unhappy situation for nobody. Let go of the people, places, or things that no longer serve you. That is a true statement. You hear the conviction in that statement, okay? So, listen. Got out of that marriage, got out of that situation. I didn't care what I had to do to get away. I was just like, bye. Deuces, okay? I'll start over because guess what? The exact same thing that he loved about me is the exact same thing that he is going to hate about me. And that was a promise, okay? I don't know about your situation, but for me, my husband loved the fact that I was independent, okay? He loved the fact that I was always trying to find a way to be an entrepreneur and also, you know, make sure that our family was straight. I wasn't always about being an entrepreneur per se, but I was a good provider. I was a good asset to the marriage. I'm not gonna make it sound like he didn't do his part, because he did. But that's the reason why he fell in love with me, because he said that all the other females that he met, they would just sit down and depend on him to do everything, and it just rubbed him the wrong way. But guess what? He loved that about me, but then he turned around and tried to use it against me and tell me that that made him insecure. And that was his excuse for the cheating and lies and the BS, right? Listen, you met me this way, I'm gonna die this way. And if you can't love me the way that I need to be loved, somebody else will do it for you, honey. Because I don't understand how you met me like this. You fell in love with me because of who I was and the way I was, but now you're telling me it's making you insecure, and it's a problem, to the point where you deliberately tried to betray me, thinking that I was gonna be, I don't want to say that word because it's insulting, but the only way for you guys to understand is for me to say the word weak. You thought I was going to be weak and break down and cry and chase you, say, no, oh my God, my husband, oh my God, my husband. No. You showed me your true colors. I thank God that you did. And I moved on. Simple. It takes a real man to handle a real woman like me, and that's just it. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and dumb down, water down my worth and my abilities to make you feel better about yourself. I don't know why or what took place for you to lose track of who you were. But while I was busy losing myself for you, you didn't care. You did not care. So why should I care when you start to feel threatened by me holding it down on my own with a ring on my finger? That's not what you wanted. You didn't want a rock. You didn't want somebody to make sure that you were standing on solid ground at all times. You didn't want somebody to catch you when you were falling. You didn't want that. Or did you? Which one is it? How did that become an issue to you? But when I needed you to catch me, darling, when I needed you to be my rock for once in our 12-year marriage, you started doing all kinds of things. You showed me your true colors. So I said, okay, bye. Bye. And I did the work. I took time to myself, guys. I stayed to myself. I went to therapy. Okay, sis, I got my life, all right? Went to therapy, lost weight, went back to school, got my college degree in health, okay? Started my business. And now look at me. Look at me. Single, sexy, and at peace. With a big smile on my face, darling. Let me tell you guys something. Don't you ever be afraid to leave a situation that you're not happy in. Because you will end up wasting your time when you never had to in the first place. I saw the signs. Definitely saw the signs. But as they say, love is blind. But I disagree to a point. Love is only blind if you want it to be, right? Only if you want it to be. You could ignore the signs if you want to, for as long as you want to, but they're still there. They're not going nowhere, and they're not going to go nowhere until you acknowledge them. Point blank, period. And that's what I did. I acknowledged them. I got to the point where I was just like, okay, you want to be big and bold? I see the signs. I see you. And it stops here. Because I needed him to understand that I wasn't your fool. I wasn't your fool for standing by you. Definitely not. And sis, don't you ever feel like you was somebody's fool for putting up with their crap. You know what I want you to do after you watch this video? I want you to go look in the mirror. Because this is what I had to do at the end of my therapy session, okay? I had to go look in the mirror and say to myself, I forgive myself for putting up with less than I deserved. I'm gonna let that sink in. I need you guys, after you watch this video, to really truly understand that statement and let it sink in. Let it sink in. I forgive myself for putting up with less than I deserved. Because all of us are guilty of that, right? All of us are guilty of it. But don't worry about it, because you didn't put up with it at the time because you didn't know better. You put up with it at the time because you wanted to give unconditional love. And your unconditional love was taken for granted. But that's okay. That's okay. Because if you believe in the Almighty like I do, there's a verse in the Bible that says, for unseen eyes have seen, and eyes that have not heard. Meaning, there's always somebody watching you from behind the scenes. There's always somebody that heard your story, watched you go through your story, watched you struggle through your pain, watched you bounce back, heard your cries. There's always somebody watching. So don't you ever be discouraged. Don't you ever feel alone, because you never know if that same somebody is going to come and say. Sorry, guys. Yeah. Don't you ever feel alone or discouraged, because you never know if that same person that's watching quietly is going to be the one to come and save you. Your knight in shining armor, your Superman, whoever it is, maybe God himself, honey, is going to come and sweep you off your feet. But you just have to make up your mind that enough is enough. You have to be so confident. You got to dig deep down from the toes up to the crown of your head to find that little ounce of self-love and self-dignity and self-confidence and motivation to just say enough is enough, and I'm going to turn my life around. I deserve all the things that my heart desires, and I'm going to go after it. I'm going to get it elsewhere. Because that's what I did. Now, I may not be no six-figure business, but I'm out here applying myself and applying my pain, applying my journey to help others heal. I am helping others. That's the greatest gift I could ever get back after everything I went through in life. I'm saving lives out here. Saving lives is better than stacking the coins in my bank account. Okay? To me it is. Because I remember what it was like. I remember what it was like when I wanted to find my way out and I didn't know where to turn. I didn't know who to call. I didn't know what to do. But then I had to realize, like, I don't need nobody but myself. I don't need nobody but myself. And you don't need nobody but yourself. Don't you ever make nobody allow you to feel stuck. Don't allow anyone to make you feel stuck, to make you feel like you're not worth it, to make you feel like nobody else is gonna want you, nobody else is gonna invest in you. It's all control. That's all that is. Because you'll be surprised. You'll be surprised at the light at the end of the tunnel that's waiting on you to get there. All you gotta do is go through it. Go through the tunnel, darling. The light is waiting for you at the end of the tunnel. I thank God the day. I don't know how I found the strength. I'm telling you. Because, as I said before, when I looked at my babies and I said, what in the world are we going to do? It's bringing tears to my eyes now. What are we going to do? Where are we going to go? Who's going to protect us? Who's going to answer my calls when I need help? How am I going to help my kids heal? How am I going to help them to understand? Just all these questions. Who, what, where, when, how, and why. And I had no answers. None. My kids went through hell with me because I was too busy trying to be loyal. And I don't want you guys to make that same mistake. People only change if they want to change. You can't make them change. You could tell them all that you need to tell them. You could do whatever it is that you want to do. People only change if they want to change. So you're wasting your time trying to force somebody to change. You could tell them the same thing a million times. It's not going to connect unless they want it to. That's just a harsh reality. As a healthcare giver, it's the same thing when you're dealing with an Alzheimer's patient or a dementia patient. It's the same thing, okay? You're in there and you're there to direct them. But you could direct them as much as you want. If they choose not to comply with your direction, they won't comply. And you're going to have to try again later. Or just leave it alone. Right? It's the same thing. So, guys, I really urge you to stop dwelling on your past. Really? Sorry, guys. I urge you to stop dwelling on your past and just move on. Move on any way that you see fit. Just move on. Don't worry about what's gonna happen next. Just figure it out. Figure it out as you go. I'm stuttering. I'm sorry. Figure it out as you go and just keep going. Hold your head high and know that you're doing it for you and nobody else. And that is like the greatest feeling in world. I'm telling you, when you finally do something for yourself, it hits different. Okay? When you're no longer out here doing stuff for people and you start doing it for yourself, it hits different. It makes all the difference in the world. I promise you. Stay focused on your goals for your life. Find yourself again or redefine who you are and become who you want to be. It's possible. And don't you ever look back. Because I definitely will be looking back, okay? I thank my husband for the good times and the bad because it made me who I am today. And that's the moral of it all. So you can't dwell on your past because then you can't transform. you're not gonna grow and you're not gonna glow if you dwell on your past. You just gotta keep going. Go through it. Get through it. However you see fit. And I promise you, you'll be happy. You'll be content. You'll be looking back like, I was tripping. What was I doing? Because I promise you, there were times that, especially when I finished school and I got my degree in health, I was just like, oh my God, like, I'm the bomb that calm, okay? Who knew that this bounce back was gonna be so real? They better put some respect on my name, all right? Coach Sweetie, to be exact. Thank you for watching. If you want to go ahead and book a consultation or book any seminars, virtual sessions, all the information is down below in the description bar. I look forward to hearing from you guys. I thank you guys for the support so far. I appreciate you guys. You have no idea. And as I say all the time, you are not alone. We're going to go through all of it together. Okay, sis? LGBTQ community, you know I'm rooting for you always. Just read in between the lines. Whatever resonates for you, resonates for you. You know, let your story fit and rock with it, all right? We are going to make it out here. 2021 and 2022 is going to be the best we ever had, okay? Till next time, God bless.